Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. So, with only 4 characters remaining, let's jump back over to the wheel, and we'll just see which one we're doing next. It looks like we've got the Demon. So, Demon is almost certainly the easiest of the 4 characters remaining, so that's going to be, hopefully, a decent run for us. Let's see what weapon we get. We've got the Wand. I've already done Demon with Wand, so I'm going to re-roll that, and we have Chopper. I'm going to check if I've done Chopper already. And we have not, so we're jumping in with Demon with Chopper. Now, this is a weird weapon for the character, because usually you want to spend a lot of HP in the first wave, go down to like 1 health on the Demon, in order to maximize your early game expenditures. But with the Chopper, our damage is dependent on our max HP. So if I spend too much, then we're going to lose a lot of max health, or lose a lot of damage. So that's going to be an interesting balancing act. I'm not actually sure what that will look like. We're going to have to get into the shop and kind of see how much damage we still do after I spend some max health. I'm going to take the harvesting here, and then I will buy a Chopper, of course. With this character, you often want to buy non-weapon items as well, because they're at their cheapest in the first wave, so spending the health now saves you a lot of health later on. The difference between buying Peaceful Bee on wave 1 and in later waves is double the price. So you are highly incentivized to spend a lot of money early. So I'm going to buy the Peaceful Bee here, and we've still got 7 damage. I can buy the Whistle maybe. I think I will do that, and then I'm going to re-roll. We'll buy a Chopper and a Scar, going down to 7 damage again. And then I will roll once more. Injection isn't worth buying because that costs us 4 max health, which is very bad for this character, of course. Take another Chopper here. Alright, so we're not losing that much early damage by lowering our health, so I think we're okay to just spend normally and go down to 1 HP like we usually would on this character. So we'll buy the Chopper here, and then Cute Monkey is a good way to heal, but I don't really need that yet. Let's re-roll. I'll take another Scar. Getting a bunch of these early helps a ton for the Demon. So you can really benefit from buying XP gain early because it's going to increase your health. We can spend down to 0 HP, and then we'll have 1 HP in the next wave. It does mean that we're going to have to spend money. We'll basically be in debt by 1 max HP, but you can spend down to 0. Try to kill this tree. Ooh, a crate is a really nice find there. Sharp Bullet, I'm going to recycle. We definitely just need more money here, and then we'll take 5 harvesting, and then I'll take 3 max HP so that we can spend that on more powerful items and weapons. We'll buy a Chopper here, and then I will roll. And Alien Worm, it does cost me consumable heal, which of course is bad, but we basically get 2 HP when we buy this, so really nice to pick this up. We'll upgrade our Choppers. This does increase the scaling. So I guess the HP scaling, as long as we don't have negative HP, it's never going to reduce our damage below the base damage for Chopper. So it's not that bad for this character. And then later on, it'll be very powerful. Weird Ghost, of course, is always amazing for the Demon, because we spend 1, we get 3, and we're going to be spending down to 0 anyways. Terrified Onion, I think we can pass on. We'll buy a Chopper here, take another Alien Worm. Turret, I'm going to pass as well. Keep on upgrading our weapons, and then roll again. And Weird Food will make up for the 2 Alien Worms, so I think it is worth buying. Keep on rolling. You might think this is super aggressive, but you really just want to spend... you want to buy a ton of items in the first couple shops with this character, because later on, items like almost immediately double in price. So the HP that we're spending early is so much more efficient than HP we're spending later. Defective Steroids is 2 melee damage, and it's HP neutral, so I'll buy it. I'll take the Chopper here. And then I could reroll for 9. We still have 4 health. I think I'm gonna just go to the next wave. I do want to eventually build up to the point where we can take a hit, and 9 is a pretty expensive reroll. It's starting to reach the point where it actually is going to cost us a health off of the demon passive. You do have to have good movement for this character if you want to play this greedy. And it's not mandatory to play this greedy, but it does make the character a lot easier in the mid-game if you've bought a ton of items in the early game. Here, I will take 3 health. Just buying max health is always good on the demon. Then we're going to reroll, and I could take attack speed. That's pretty useful for the chopper, which is a pretty slow attacking weapon. I could take some regen just to stay alive, or I could roll for harvesting or max HP. I think either of those are so good, I'm just going to roll for it, and we'll take 6 max HP. Metal is only 1 HP, and we get damage, armor, and speed, so I'll definitely take that. And then we will roll here. Upgrade our choppers even more. And you can see here, we got all of these choppers to level 2, and they only cost 1 health each. Now that it's wave 3, they cost 2 health each, so it's so much less efficient to buy them now. I'm still gonna buy this one, but you can see why I was so aggressive with buying items early. I will take an armor here for 2 health, I think, and then I'll roll again. I'll buy another chopper. We're going to reroll a lot on this character. It's a high economy character, so Spyglass is actually pretty good. Ritual I don't think is worth it, but I'll take a reroll here, and then I'm going to save 8 HP. That will let us survive 1 hit from an enemy most of the time, so we're just going to lock our chopper here. The best item on this character is the piggy bank, because you always go into these waves with materials held. So piggy bank is just a ton of economy. So glad there, because I took a hit that I did not spend down to 1 HP. And if you're very confident in your movement, you can still keep spending down to 1 HP on wave 4, but it makes it hard to get to a reasonable health value for later waves. So wave 4 is where I like to start building some health on this character. Let's do a reroll here, and sure, I'll take 10 luck. That's pretty nice. And then I'll roll again, and I'll just take 6 more maximum health. Max health not only improves our damage with our choppers, it's also our economy stat, so we just want to buy it whenever we see it. Definitely taking the acid here. It does cost me dodge, but it's just plus 3 health, so still pretty good for effectively for free. And I'll level. I think I'm going to spend down to about 15 health, so I'll level some choppers, and then I'll reroll, and then I'll level another chopper. Do 1 more reroll here, and then we can lock a couple more items and go to the next wave. Our end game, of course, for the chopper should always be excellent, because when your damage scales with your health and you build health for free, which you sort of do on the demon, then you're going to end up with a really high damage weapon later on, especially since we've been so good at finding weapon levels so far. The key with the demon is basically to do what we've done and just snowball so far ahead of the wave in terms of economy that you can just immediately scale ahead of everything that's going on. I'll take the feather here. I think we can start building dodge, and it only costs 8. It does cost me XP gain, but we've already got 40%, so I'm not that upset about losing it. Here I'm going to take 10 harvesting, and then we will buy chopper and coffee. I'm going to try not to spend too much health. Jelly doesn't do anything here, so I'm just going to lock this chopper and then do a reroll. I'll buy Gentle Alien. Cost me 1 health, but the economy stats are pretty good, and then we'll lock a blindfold. And then with 2 items locked, I think I'm not going to reroll even for 7, and we'll just go to the next wave. You usually hit this point around wave 5 on the demon, where you stop buying stuff for a bit just to stack your max HP a little higher. And that's the other reason why it's so important to buy so many items in the first couple waves, because that's often going to be all of your items for the first few waves. So you end up just front-loading your items, which is great, because it lets you buy a ton of economy. Definitely could use a little more armor and a little more regeneration, but we're very happy with how this run is going so far. I'll take a helmet. That's exactly what I was talking about. And then here, attack speed is probably one of the most important stats for us right now, so I'm very happy to see that. Do I want luck? Regen. This is level 10, so I could roll for max health as well. I think I'm just going to take 15 luck, though. Getting that much luck this early is really nice. Here, I'm going to spend down to 20 health, so we're going to buy the chopper and the blindfold, and then roll. And then I will buy a scar, roll again, because I can lock some more stuff. Treasure map, is that worth buying this early? It means spending down more health than I intended to. But I think treasure map is such a good economy item that I'm going to buy it anyways, and then we'll go to wave 7 here. 17 health is definitely low for wave 7, but survivable. Because of that, I'm going to kill at least one of these eggs. I think we can kill the slashers pretty efficiently with our choppers, because our damage is just very good right now. But I don't want too many of them to spawn. It'll just put a lot of pressure on me to dodge, because our max health is low. Gonna kill that tree, and then we gain a decent amount of max health. We gained 17 that wave, so that's pretty good. Range is actually a little more interesting on Chopper than on some other weapons, because it's a pretty short-ranged weapon, but it also gains range as you level it up, so I'm still not going to spend a level 3 upgrade there. Yeah, I'm much happier taking luck or regen here. I think I'll just take the regen, and then we'll take 12% damage. 6 HP is also tempting, but a percent damage could use a buff. I'm going to spend down to 25 or so this wave, so let's buy Chopper, Head Injury, and Peaceful Bee, and then I'll reroll. A Spyglass is pretty nice. When you have 2 Spyglasses, they're better. They're much better than 1 Spyglass in isolation, though you can see that our Spyglass has been terrible so far. Oh, that's funny. So this one's saved 14, this one saved 13. For some reason, the rounding is different between the one in the shop and the one in our inventory. That's actually hilarious. But I will buy it here, and then I'll do a reroll. A Lock of Tentacle, crit chance could be useful. Acid is just +2 damage, or +2 HP, so I'll just take that. That could let me buy something else if I wanted to. Yeah, let's spend down to 23, and we'll just buy a Propeller Hat. Just a good economy item, and then I'll reroll for 6 here. With double Spyglass, we're pretty incentivized to reroll. But again, you can see why Spyglass is not a solid item for most characters, even on this character that rerolls more often than others. We've only saved 14 materials, like 4 waves after we bought it. So we're down tons of money on that purchase, and it didn't give us any stats that we wanted. Although, again, the range is a little more relevant on this weapon than on most weapons. I think that my... Oh, wow, I need to pay attention. Starting to talk about Spyglass again and got distracted. I think that my fix for Spyglass would be to give it, like, plus 20 more range. If it gave 30 range, it would actually have a more interesting niche for characters that really wanted range. I'm going to recycle the candle here, of course, and then let's buy some armor. Armor is always good. And then we will take a Chopper here, we'll take Tentacle, and I'm going to stick on 30 HP if I can, so I'll just buy this mushroom, do a reroll, and see if we can lock anything good. A fertilizer at this point is a little less valuable. Sad Tomato's great, coffee is great, Chopper, of course, is great. Do I want to lock fertilizer? Or just buy it? I think I'm just going to buy it. I think we can play on 28 HP this wave, and then we'll go to wave 9 here. Harvesting is a little worse for the demon because materials are less valuable. They do convert to HP, but the ratio is worse than for most characters. But we have a bunch of XP gain, and fertilizer is still just an amazing item. Even when it's slightly less efficient, it's still very good. We also, of course, have the consumable heal from the choppers, so... I think I mentioned having low consumable heal with the alien worms. Obviously, that's not true, because chopper gives us a lot. This weapon has another effect aside from just scaling with HP. Look how much money we're getting every wave as well. We were up to almost 700 there. I'll take the fish hook here. That's obviously awesome. And then 3 more armor is perfect. And then here, I could start building dodge. We've already got 10%, so we're a little more incentivized to build dodge. Or I could roll... Movement speed is pretty important. We have a horde wave, though, so move speed is less important. It's mostly key against elites. I think I will start building dodge on this character. Getting this much dodge early will let us actually build dodge as a primary defensive strategy. Take the sad tomato here, and then I'll roll. I'll take a clover, and I'm going to spend down to, let's say, 35 HP this wave. Also, if you're wondering how I'm coming up with those numbers, I'm making them up. This is not scientific. I'm just using kind of my intuition on this. I'll lock the adrenaline, because we're already building dodge, and then I'll spend down to 32 to get the shady potion, because that's a really nice economy item. Do a reroll here. Banner is good, because attack speed is good, and baby elephant's a nice way to clear enemies that doesn't involve hitting them with our weapons, which, while our weapons are good, they're slightly low range and slow attack speed, so we can definitely benefit from non-weapon sources of damage. Also, we've kind of turned the corner on Demon. When you get past the early game without walking into an attack at 1 health and dying, this character's economy just snowballs so far ahead that you can do kind of whatever you want. So we can build random nonsense like baby elephants in order to just have an even more powerful endgame without hurting the character too much. Having gotten a lot of armor definitely helps a lot as well, because it means I can just stand in the middle of these enemies, and combined with our natural healing and our high consumable healing, we can just maintain our HP even while in the middle of big groups of enemies. Those cursed chargers are a little scarier, but everything else is fine. Weird Ghost, so we're going into wave 11. I think we can still get away with the Weird Ghost, though. We have 19 regen, so that's fine here, I think. And then I could take 6 melee damage. Obviously, our weapons are mostly going to scale with max health, but melee damage is still a scaling point for the choppers, so we could take those. I think, given that I bought the Weird Ghost and I want regen anyways, though, I'm just going to take that, and then I will take 2 more armor here. All right, we also have a fish hook, so I'm even more incentivized to reroll with double spyglass and a fish hook, so I should definitely keep that in mind. I'm going to buy all of these items, and I'm going to spend down to about 40 health here. We have 0 engineering, but nail is a fun item, especially if it gets cursed. So I'm going to go ahead and lock that, and then I will buy a chopper. I'm going to roll. Buy a beanie, because my move speed being this low is one of the few challenges that we're still facing on this character. Then I'm going to lock Shady Potion, I'll do a reroll, and I'll lock both of these items as well. We'll stay on 42 health and try to get some fishhook value. Alright, let's go to the next wave. So obviously we have to kill the rib cages before they hit us, since we have Weird Ghost, but our regen is plenty to get us to the point where we don't die to them very fast, and as soon as we drop a consumable, we're back to full health immediately. Honestly, I was expecting this to be not a difficult run, but slightly harder than it's been, just because I thought that having a weapon that scales with health on a character that wants to spend health early would make our early game hard, but it didn't make our early game hard, and now we just have a weapon that scales with health on a character that builds infinite health for free and has the best economy in the game. So, turns out this is just a very, very strong combination. Yeah, we'll take a propeller hat. I am going to buy the nail, but I'm still going to take the ritual here. Lifesteal and damage are both very good. Scarf, we're not going into a boss wave next wave, so I'm pretty happy to increase enemy move speed, and increase regen is good. 4 armor is amazing. Very happy to grab that. I think we can do better than 8% damage. Actually, our percent damage is low. Let's just take it. Sadly, our nail didn't get cursed. I'll take all of these items not cursed. Do I want to buy the nail when it's not cursed? I think I'm going to pass on it. It's just such small scaling for us with negative engineering here. I will take an alien tongue when our consumable heal is this good. Pickup radius is very nice for us. We'll take a bowler hat as well, and then I'm going to stay on 50 health. So I guess I'll just buy a chopper, reroll here. And we'll lock a chopper. Snail cursed I would take. I'll roll again. Goat skull cursed. And butterfly cursed. All of these I would take when cursed. So with double spyglass and with a fishhook, I just want to reroll until I can lock 4 items. Basically every shop. Because the expected value is so high. Killing these healers, because our damage is obviously really good, but the healers do still slow us down on killing these cursed enemies, at least. So, need to make sure to prioritize those guys. I just need a little more damage, too, and a couple cursed items, if we find them, because we have high curse already. Will go a really long way towards giving us more damage. Up to 82 HP as well. I'll take the crystal here. We probably will not maintain the attack speed very easily, but even 5% attack speed is really nice. And then we'll take the Cyclops worm. Here I'm going to start building more dodge, because we're getting close to dodge cap already, so if we can get to dodge cap, it'll be very efficient. Go ahead and buy a cursed chopper. Nothing else got cursed here, so what of these do I want when they're not cursed? Probably none of them, honestly. We'll just roll past all this. Wandering Bot gives you move speed when cursed, and I'm definitely not buying. This is a for fun character at this point, so we're not going to buy an unfun item. Though I should mention that if your goal was strictly to optimize your win rate, not is the correct purchase here. But I am going to lock the Wandering Bot, because Cursed Wandering Bot is just fun. I'll take the Jerky and the Garden here. Really good for our healing, and then we'll upgrade our chopper. Roll again. Duct Tape. If it gets cursed, I'll buy it, and then I'll roll it again. I think I will just buy the Cursed Incendiary Turret. We'll lock Leather Vest, and then I'll roll a couple more times, and yeah, I guess we'll lock a Butterfly once more. Once again, we want to spend a lot of money on rerolls because we have double discount and a fishhook, so we benefit a lot from rerolling very aggressively. And of course, that's only possible because we're playing the Demon, which is such an extremely powerful character. Demon's a funny character to rate, also. Like if you were doing a character tier list, because for new players, this character is extremely difficult. I think it's still the most searched after Fisherman and Streamer. Although YouTube has made it almost impossible to tell what people are searching for and replaced it with AI garbage. So it's harder to tell. But I think the Demon is still one of the most looked for characters for guides, because playing at 1 HP in the early game is hard. And it isn't like totally required to do that, but it makes the character so much easier. But when you get out of the early game, it's absurdly powerful. So it's funny to think about like where it stands on the power level scale. I could just take 9 max HP. At this point, I don't really need to buy max health, though. I'm just going to take move speed, because that's the only thing that we're really concerned about. And then we'll take butterfly, duct tape, leather vest, wandering bot. I'm not going to buy when it's not cursed, so let's roll again. We'll take a cake here. Upgrade our choppers some more. Go down to 60 HP this wave, I think. I'll lock a crystal. Cursed crystal could be really good. And then I will take the... I think I'll take the coffee. I'll lock a chopper, because that would take me below 60 HP, which I don't really want to do. Lost duck, I'll take. Cursed triangle, I would take. And then I'll roll again. 0 items from the treasure map, which we got a million years ago, so really unlucky on treasure map here. Think I'm gonna lock that and try to get it cursed, though. Having it for this wave is pretty tempting, of course, but if we get it cursed, it's much more likely to pay off before the end of the run. I'll buy it either way, but... Or not pay off, but give us extremely high value before the end of the run. Wave 14, of course, we want to be clearing these goobers, and that means that when I kill a big group of summoners, I actually didn't mean to kill all 4 there. I need to kill as many of the goobers as possible as soon as they spawn. Fortunately, our damage is high enough and our defensive stats are high enough that even when I kill a few too many summoners at once, it mostly doesn't matter. But slightly bad movement by me to kill so many. And let a few too many summons stack up. Reinforced steel, I'm recycling. I'll take 15 more attack speed here, and then let's definitely take the cursed chopper, of course. Crystal and triangle when not cursed. How much do I want? I'm gonna buy the treasure map. How much do I want these when not cursed? Our percentage damage is pretty bad. I think I'm just gonna buy both of them. And then we'll roll. I'll take a peaceful bee, getting almost a dodge cap, and then I'll lock the gambling token. I don't really want to spend my more max health, so let's just roll a couple times. Roll one more time. All right, one more time, and sadly we didn't find anything to lock there, but that's okay. The other thing, of course, is that dodge makes Triangle of Power and Crystal better. Though really what I need is attack speed. Just to kill enemies before they have a chance to do damage to me. But the Triangle of Power and the Crystal were both excellent against the Elite there. 20% extra damage from the Triangle let us kill it so much faster. So even if we end up with lower damage at the end of this wave, from taking more than 10 hits, the Triangle will still have been very good. It took a lot of hits there, but it didn't matter. I'm going to recycle the explosive shells, capping my move speed at 13. I think that's okay. I'll take the shackles here. And then, do I want more percent damage? Sure. I'll take a scar, and I think I don't want to spend... I want to keep a little more health. I've been spending a little bit too much health. So let's buy the Cyclops Worm, lock the Lost Duck, and then roll. I guess we can lose a little max HP to the Bone Dice, especially if it gets cursed, because we're re-rolling a lot. And Octopus, especially cursed, I would be very happy with, but let's sit on 80 HP here. Had to briefly cut there to take a phone call, but we're back, so let's jump right back in. Yeah, sitting on 80 HP is much nicer, because it just means the base damage of my weapons is so much higher. Probably should have tried to spike up to, like, the mid-hundreds of HP a wave or two earlier. Just buy a couple fewer items, and then we'd have done even more damage. It doesn't matter, obviously, but if we wanted to really optimize our wave clear, then a little more health earlier would probably have been better. On the other hand, all the items that we got are very good, so hard to say what we would have dropped. You can see also that here, you know, crystals and triangles all work really well with more of those types of items. You know, having 2 crystals is a lot better than having 1 crystal. And so on, because having more attack speed and more damage makes you less likely to take hits and lose those effects. So those items stack really well with themselves. I guess we'll take the turret here. We'll take a gentle alien. Yeah, it does cost me 2 HP, but our percent damage could still improve, so we'll take the injection. And then let me take some more regen, just in case we run into trouble. Crit chance is something that we could build here as well, and our attack speed is pretty high already, so I think crit chance will actually matter more. Wow, nothing got cursed. Wild. Guess I'll take these items, go up to 59% dodge. Do I want the octopus? I think not. It's 2 HP for 5 regen, but it cost me a bunch of crit chance, so I think we're going to roll past it when it's not cursed. Now roll again here. I'll take a chopper upgrade and a baby elephant and roll. I'm going to stay on 90 HP, so we'll lock the coffee, we'll lock the ritual, lock head injury, roll one more time. Ooh, extra stomach. So this should pay off in very few waves, so I will pick that up. And then bowler hat. Even cursed is probably not good at this point in the game, so let's roll one more time. All right, we're starting to reroll for 30, so we'll pass on that. I guess I did waste 1 extra stomach charge there by going too close to the garden before our regen had gotten us to full health. But we should still get 8 per wave. Our luck is very good, and we're just not taking that much damage. I'm not going to prioritize stepping on them while I'm at full health at all. I'll just let the wave end, pull them all in, and give us all the max health at the end of the wave. High dodge is working very well for us here to prevent our triangle and crystals from losing their efficiency. And of course, it just works very well with our very high health, because it means we can take an absurd amount of damage before we die. Even this late, the piggy bank is going to pay off pretty fast, so we'll take it. I'll roll here. I'll take some more percent damage, and then I guess I'll buy a head injury, so you can see, yeah, 8 HP already. We'll take head injury, we'll take crystal, and I think I'm just buying all this stuff. We'll stay on 90 HP here. Claw tree, sure. Compass, my move speed is capped, so we don't need it. Small magazine, cursed, I would actually be very happy with this, because attack speed is still just great. I'll upgrade a chopper. Gummy berserker. Would I buy this cursed? Probably I would. And then I'll lock another chopper to see if we can get another cursed one. That will involve selling one if we do get another cursed one. And we killed the elite very fast and without taking any damage, so we've kept our buffs. Oh no. Taking so many hits. Come on, dodge. 59% is 100%, right? Should work every time. I'm gonna recycle the alloy. I don't really want to lose dodge. I'll take the banner here. Obviously, we're not going to take the torture. We're recycling that. I will take the fairy, though. That's a lot of regeneration. And then I think just more percentage damage. The claw tree got cursed, so I'm pretty happy with that. Gummy berserker not cursed. I'm not going to buy. The chopper, not cursed, I'm not going to buy because it doesn't give us an upgrade. And I think small magazine will pass on as well. Insanity is worth grabbing, though, because it gives us more crit chance, which is one of the ways we can increase our damage most efficiently. Pile of books, I've got the 1 structure. I think we can just pass on that. Okay, we've gotten up to 4 items from the treasure map, so they're not completely useless anymore. But I think we're just going to lock Claw Tree. I'm not going to buy treasure map going into wave 19. It doesn't do anything. Regen potion. Ooh. 14 HP. Yeah, I'll buy a couple curse items here. And I'm just trying to maximize curse at this point, I think. And sure, we'll take an improved tools as well. Go to the next wave. Would have loved to find another fishhook or a cursed fishhook too, because we obviously are locking a lot of items very aggressively, but pretty happy with this build currently. We're definitely clearing things. We're not as, like, absurdly powerful as you sometimes get on the demon, but we're obviously having no trouble at this point. I guess I'll take the goat skull here and small magazine when they show up for free. I'll take 5 more crit chance. Our fishhook giving us one last, you know, slap in the face. Extra stomach, we spent 14 on it. We got 24. I'm just going to quickly check some items here just for fun. And the spyglasses saved 581. So because this character rerolls a ton, the spyglasses were actually quite good on this character specifically. I'll take the chopper and improved tools. Claw tree and metal, I think we can pass on for this much health. Kraken's Eye is a fun one. It only costs 7 HP, and it gives us a bunch of other stuff. So let's buy that. Incendiary turret will pass on. Ooh, night goggles. Sure. We'll take that, and then I will take an upgraded chopper here as well. And roll again. Spicy sauce, no. Alien Eye is obviously great when you have this much health. So let's buy that, and then... Although, it does decrease the damage of my weapon, so that probably is just lower damage overall. The Gummy Berserker... I'm gonna... Actually, the spyglasses are even better, because we get to reroll this wave as well. So that's gonna be 667 saved so far. Gummy Berserker, I think we can pass on, and I'm gonna roll one more time just for fun. And then I think we're just saving our money at this point, because we just want 100 max HP to boost the damage of our weapons. And there we go. That's the demon. Obviously a super strong character, so I wasn't particularly concerned about this, whatever weapon we rolled. But this weapon worked out, the chopper worked out, like, significantly better than I was expecting it to. It ended up just being an extremely smooth run, so definitely recommended for the demon. Obviously, for this character, I think Ghost Scepter is still the sort of optimal pick, because your economy gets so strong so quickly, or just normally powerful weapons, just any primitive weapon with decent damage is good, but the chopper felt very strong as well. Taking a look at our items, we ended up with 695 saved on the spyglasses, and that's all real savings, because we did a couple for fun rerolls at the end, but we could have bought stuff off of them. 5 items from treasure map, so definitely a disappointing treasure map performance. 62 from tentacle. 60k damage off these baby elephants. The crystals were great. The triangle was great. What else? We had Really good XP gain, lost 2 HP and gained 9 damage off the bone dice, so not an amazing showing from those. And the extra stomach. Oh yeah, Piggy Bank got us 370 materials, even just in 3 waves, so you can see why it's so incredible for this character. Alright, my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this demon run, and of course, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. We're down to only 3 characters to go, but that was our last easy one. So we'll see if we can manage to make this win streak, if I can bring it on home. As always, of course, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.